people in the West Indies are very, very respectful, and they expect a lot from their children. They have these little we call them, and I believe they call them sweet drink shops too. Sweet drink shops. So sweet drinks would be your sodas and stuff. And so when you get a soda, you have your a glass bottle, and you'd go inside to get your soda. You could pay extra for the bottle, but if you just want to pay normal price, they'd pour it into a little sandwich baggie and put a straw, and then you'd walk away with your soda in a bag. And but there's it'd be so hot all the time that we would go into these sweet drink shops and cool down by drinking a cold beverage. If a little kid were to walk in and not acknowledge everybody in the shop with a good morning or a good afternoon or a good evening, any elderly or any adult that was in the room would chastise the child and tell them, you need to say hello to everybody in here. And then the kid would, oh yeah, kids make mistakes, and they would, oh, good evening, everybody, and then they would go up to the counter and order their food. And I thought, man, how awesome is that? And what was even more awesome to see was when that would actually happen the right way, or how the adults would want it to happen. You'd see a kid come in, and he would, good evening, good evening, good evening. And then he would go up to the counter and order his, whatever he wanted, and he was probably getting flour for mom or whatever. Kids are pretty obedient down there. If they weren't, they got beatings down there, and you'd hear they call it licks, that they would get licks. But they're very, very good, respectful kids down there. All the kids down there have uniforms for school, so they would wear uniforms. I was on a bus, and we were traveling, and there was an old man that was walking across the street, and the bus driver was, the music is so loud in these buses. They're playing who knows what kind of music, and everybody just goes with the flow. Everybody's like, whatever, let's just sit here and do the ride, or maybe they just enjoy the music, no one complains. But they're going, the music's loud, and so the old man was crossing the street. Bus driver didn't see him and slammed on his brakes last minute, almost hit the guy, came within, it seemed like, maybe a foot of this old man. Well, you have people standing up on the bus, riding, and half the people fall over, and they yell at the driver. The driver yells at the old man, and then everybody's real upset for maybe 3 or 4 seconds. But then everybody just starts laughing, and people are getting up and laughing at the. And I think everybody laughed because the old man had a cane and hit the bus on the window, and then I think they argued a little bit. But then everybody just started laughing. The bus driver's laughing, and I think the driver even apologized to the old man, and everybody was just on their way. And it's a good time, and everybody's laughing, everybody's having a good time, and that's kind of how it was down there. People would make mistakes and things would happen, but everybody just thought it was funny and laughing, and there's no offense. It was just a good time. You think of your best college buddies out in the town, and that's kind of how everybody was. Just everybody's good time, and there's jokes and there's things that go on, but it was fun. And I was a jokey person, and I like to make jokes, and I was always goofing around and saying funny things, and they were my best audience. They would laugh at everything I would say and tell me how jokey I was. But it was a good time with them. One tradition, and I don't know if it's in all the countries. I know it was in Guyana, but probably everywhere. But during Christmas time, they would take down all the pictures on their walls, take down everything, and put it kind of in the center of the room, paint the entire inside of the house, and then put everything back. And that happened every Christmas everywhere. That was the thing you did. You kind of painted the inside of your house, and that was kind of the tradition there. Tips, I guess, would be to just be respectful to the people. Say good morning when you pass someone on the street. You acknowledge them. Don't be rude and just pass. That is very, very rude down there, just to walk by someone and not say hello. So you end up saying hello to a lot of people because there's a lot of people standing around on the street. But definitely say hello, say good morning, good evening. They say good evening as a hello. Good night is also a hello. So you can say good night as hello and goodbye, I suppose. But um, yeah, I would just be happy. Get into it. Get into the culture. I mean, if you go down there and you just kind of stay in your normal, U.S. self, then there's less respect for you. If you get into it and you enjoy them and you use a lot of their slang, then they say, oh, you're using. We think that's cool, and they get real excited about that, and they say, oh, you're learning. You're learning is what they say, and so. A lot of what they say too. Don't be surprised if you don't understand what they're saying for the first year or two, but no, not first year or two, the first month or two. Your companion might have to tell you, hey, this is what they're telling you. So if they're saying, hey, what's going on with you? If they're saying that to you, they would say, whopping you, and that means, hey, what's going on with you? Or I'm not gonna embarrass myself and try to speak how they do, but it's a different way of speaking, and it gets you getting used to, but you'll pick it up, and you'll figure it out.